Wandera, thank you very much for staying with us. Kiambu Women Representative Gathoni Wamuchomba recently asked able men from the Kikuyu community to consider marrying several wives since the absence of fathers has led to serious social problems among the youth. Wamuchomba says men who sire children with different women should consider asking them as their additional wives or taking them as their additional wives, saying being in a polygamous marriage is not a crime but a way of culture. George Maringa spoke to a church leader in Meru on that discussion and the stand of the church on the same. Take a look.
To you. Indeed, polygamy is an issue that has continued to elicit mixed reactions from across the country, with people who, support the idea, eliciting their reactions, as well as those who are opposed. But of course, one aspect that has, is important in the country is the voice of the church, despite in as much as all this discussion on polygamy is concerned. And I'm going to be speaking to Father Bernard, who is also the administrator of the Catholic Diocese of Meru, to just give us an insight on this topic that has continued to elicit mixed reactions. Thank you very much, Father, for joining us on KTN News. Now, what does the church say, or specifically the Catholic Church say, about polygamy and a man marrying more than one wife?
Okay, the Catholic Church is very clear on divine laws. The divine laws are very clear also, because it's Christ himself, it's God himself who has taught us that you have to marry one wife and one man. That makes a union of love. And this union makes a consent. When two people decide to get married, it's a consent which can only be valid if there is a purpose of unity and indissolubility. So when it comes to African culture and the other cultures, they accept polygamy. Polygamy is a cultural practice which is very practiced, and that's why the issue is becoming very touchy, and for polygamous families to come to the Catholic Church, it becomes difficult. But for pastoral reasons, we advise those polygamous unions not to worry, to come to the church when they have reached the age whereby they can be able to make a choice of one wife. Then they can come and regularize their union in the Catholic Church, according to the teachings of the Catholic Church. And from there, they make a decision. This wife or the other wife remains. And the unity now, the concept becomes a concept of one wife among those ones. You as a man, you have to make that decision so that your concept can be validly accepted by the other one. And now it becomes a unity of love, and which is indissoluble. And now you can be around to the sacraments. For the other wives, if they have lived their promise that they are going to be faithful to not to interfere with this new union, then they can also be baptized and be around in the Catholic Church and remain faithful. And for that matter, the children are taken care of socially, and there will be no problem. And therefore, that's where the Catholic Church is. The Catholic Church encourages people to get married in the church and remain one wife, one man. That is the stand of the church, and that's the stand of God. And that's why a man leaves his family, and a woman leaves his family, and to become one. So you cannot have a union of three people, according to the Catholic Church. And therefore, it's not difficult. You only need to make a choice.
But further, we have those who have, you come together as man and wife, in a polygamous setting, and they would also like to, join the church. You've said that the church also allows, the three or the others who could be additional to the union of the two to live as single, single women. Or what is it really practical in terms of, you don't want to call it segregation, but allowing them to live that way? And is it practical and applicable in this kind of setting, considering we're in an African setting where, earlier on someone knew that they were married to this person, but now because they need to be accepted to the church, they will need to be single and not as polygamous as before?
You see, the truth of the matter is that you have to make a choice. When you want something, you have to make a decision. And the decision is, I got married in a polygamous union, but now I want to become a Christian. And being a Christian, these are the rules, and these are the regulations, and you have to follow them. And how do you follow them? It is not that it's difficult. You only need to make a choice, and informed choice. that you have to choose one of them.
Views there from the church, one priest there from Meru, or a church leader from Meru. Let's hear what Kenyans have to say in Eldoret, in Uasin Gishu County. Our reporter Elvis Koskei on standby for that now. Elvis, a very good afternoon to you. This is a discussion that has elicited a lot of reactions across the country. What do the residents of Eldoret have to say?
Good afternoon, Akisa. Here in Uasin Gishu, it has also sparked mixed reactions. Women here are saying that men nowadays are unsupportive. Also, they cannot protect their families. Others are saying if those men can afford to marry several women, then it's well and good according to them. But let's just listen in to what residents have to say. Mama, karibu sana. Umesikia kwamba kumekuwa na mjadala ya wanaume kuoa zaidi ya wanawake watatu. Jambo ambalo lilitolewa ama lilipendekezwa na mwakilishi wa kina mama hasa kutoka kaunti ya Murang'a. Wewe kama mama, maoni yako ni gani?
Mimi kama mama, maoni yangu ni hii. Hiyo maneno nisikia wakiongea. Yes. Lakini mimi nimunga mkono. Ni kwa sababu unaona hasa nikwambie, wanaume wamezoea kupewa wasichana mimba, wanawasa wanaenda. Na hakuna mwanaume anaweza kaa na bibi moja, hasa nikwambie. Wanakula mabibi wengi sana. Kwa hivyo wawe hata 2-3. Hiyo ndio mzuri. Wasihangaike.
Lakini wanawake wa generation hii kama huyu, ukimwambia aletewe mwanamke mwingine, si atadungwa kisu?
Hata akidunga kisu. Hata ukirudi nyuma kwa Biblia, akina Abraham walikuwa sio hakuwa na bibi moja, walikuwa na bibi mingi. Hiyo ni kanisa tu, ni kama kanisa aliweka sheria. Lakini tukirudi kwa Biblia ilikuwa sawa. Kwa hivyo wawe bili kuliko kuhangaika, anasaa hapa natuba mtoto, anasaa natuba mtoto. Sasa wawe bibi hata wawili watatu.
So unapendekeza hata mimi naweza oa zaidi ya pili?
Ndio, unaweza oa. Unaweza oa.
Karibia, wacha nianze kusikia kwa mama kabla sijaanza kusikia kwa wanaume wanasemaje. Mama anakuita nani? Naona wewe ni mwanamke wa .com. Je, unakubaliana na hayo alichosema huyo mama?
Mimi sikubaliani nayo.
Kwa nini?
Kwa sababu hii uchumi imekuwa ngumu sana. Alafu sasa mwanaume akileta wanawake wawili inakuwa ngumu sana kwa maisha, kwa sababu watoto anasaa pande, anasaa huku, sasa inakuwa ngumu sana kimaisha. Na uchumi imekuwa ngumu. Sasa kuwa na bibi moja ni mzuri.
Kwa hiyo wewe ukiletewa pili utazua tafrani?
Mbaya sana.
Haya, wacha tusikie kwa wanaume. Wanaume mnasemaje bwana? Wewe maoni yako ni yapi?
Mimi maoni yangu ni kwamba hakika hali hiyo itakuwa ni ngumu. Ni kuongeza shida juu ya shida. Na wacha tu nitoe mfano mmoja. Tumeona mzee mmoja hapa Uasin Gishu ambaye ni bwenyenye, ambaye ako na wake wawili, ambapo anaweza kuwachunga, lakini imekuwa ni shida sasa, imekuwa kesi kotini ya kwamba hali imekuwa ngumu. So hali hiyo tukifanya kwa sasa tuikubali, inaenda kuleta shida juu ya shida. Hasa kizazi hiki ambacho tuko kwa sasa. Hali ni ngumu, ikiwa hata yule mmoja ambaye tuko naye anatushinda, sasa wa pili itakuwa ndo tunaweza. Itakuwa ni ngumu.
Haya bwana, hayo ni yako. Wewe unasemaje?
Mimi naitwa Cherambos kutoka hapa Eldoret. Hiyo maneno ya senator, hiyo maneno tumekubaliana nayo kabisa. Sisi tukubaliwe tuoe hata kama ni 4 ama 5 ama 6. It's okay. The problem is that uwe tu unaweza kuwachunga.
Hayo ni yako. Tusikie kwa mzee bwana. Unasemaje?
Mimi kama mzee na ni Muislamu. Sheria yetu inakubali 4. Bora unaweza kuwalisha. 4 inakubaliwa. Na wale hawatalete fujo, maana yake wanajua sheria inasema 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ndio. Huyu amesema 4. Haya msichana, karibia labda nikimalizia. Umesikia mzee amesema sheria yao, dini yao inaruhusu 4. Wewe kama msichana ambaye bado mwari, unakubaliana nayo?
Siwezi sema nakubaliana nayo ama nakataa, but maybe it's natural selection. It's forces that we cannot avoid. So it will reach a time some ladies will want men, and those men are not there. So they will be forced to get married like 2, they should share 1 man. Because the situation maybe that is how God has made the world to be. We cannot change it. Yeah, that is my opinion.
Malizia tu kijana basi.
Mimi kama kijana nasema naunga mkono. Because the leader was very clear. Alisema kama unajiweza, unaweza. kulingana na mfuko wako. Kama unaweza kiuchumi unajiweza, unaoa, shida iko wapi? Na uko na pesa.
Akisa, you've heard from section of Uasin Gishu County resident. It has been scientifically proven that there is no one male hormone that can be satisfied by one female hormone. But as you've heard from residents, some men nowadays are unsupportive and protective. That's the main reason they support Wamuchomba's move that men should marry several women. Back to you, Akisa.